What's going on, everyone? Welcome to a Movie Emporium spoiler discussion of Lightyear, the newest film from Pixar that is in the Toy Story franchise, directed by Angus MacLane. Okay, so you've seen my non-spoiler review. I tried to be as vague as possible, but there's things you have to talk about to kind of get to the premise. But here I want to do a third act discussion, kind of why this movie kind of started to falter as it went halfway through the film. So bear with me. I'm going to give you some details on the film itself. If you've seen the movie, you know what I'm talking about. But if you haven't, please watch the movie first, because you actually may enjoy this movie much, much more than I did. With that said, Lightyear was a film that I was really anticipating. I love Toy Story. I think Toy Story 1 is one of the greatest films of all time. Toy Story 2 and 3 are some of the greatest sequels of all time. Toy Story 4, it falters, but it's still a great film. So with the idea of turning Lightyear into a actual character voiced by a different person, Chris Evans, and turning it into a film that Andy saw in 1995, which I had problems with to begin with, and what became the phenomenon that, of course, we see in the Toy Story franchise itself, is an interesting take, I guess you could say. It really is. It's an interesting idea and concept, but like I said, I was really on board. I was really looking forward to this. The trailers are absolutely fantastic. I heard the first 30 minutes are awesome. And, you know, when it was at CinemaCon or whatever, and I just was waiting for this film. I was excited. They had, you know, availability to see it early, you know, a few days or a week early. And I was on board. I was ready for this film. And the first, like, hour of this movie, maybe a little bit less than that, when Buzz is trying to be the test pilot to go into space, and as he starts, like, when he goes around the sun and he starts trying to hit hypersonic and stuff like that, and when he comes back to Earth, and the idea of time traveling like 4 years, you know, forward and stuff like that. So you're seeing the age of the characters that are his friends, including his friend Haysworth and stuff like that. That stuff is absolutely riveting to watch. It's interesting. It's some perfect filmmaking from Pixar and storytelling. It's heartbreaking and emotional because his friend dies because he is doing this test pilot and stuff so long. He's been doing it so much that she grows older and he sees her family get older and she eventually die and stuff like that, and he gets grounded because they don't want to do this anymore because it's not working. And of course, Socks the cat, which is the best character in the movie throughout the whole entire movie, figures out the formula that they've been trying to figure out, and they use it. He actually steals the ship because he's been grounded, and they decide they're going to stay on this planet that they're trying to escape from. And Buzz steals the ship, and he pushes himself forward 22 years to where he meets Izzy, who of course played by Keke Palmer. And then we have Dale Soules, who plays Darby, and then Taika Waititi, who does an amazing job as Mo, the guy always asking for the pen. And all that stuff is great. When he lands on the planet that he's been on for however long, it's great. The idea of just the kind of sadness that everybody's gone is shown really perfectly. But it's the point from there when the characters, which are all great, they're all fun to watch, gets to a point where Zurg shows up. He's been on the planet, he's attacking the world that is they've been living on, and it's fine, it's interesting. They're attacked by a bunch of robots, they have to get off space. There starts to become some sameness to it. You know, you have the misfits that have been shoot off to a different area that are going to be kind of troublesome for Buzz, who's kind of you know, his ideology is a little wonky. And then they get attacked, and they, you know, figure out they need to blow up Zurg's ship, and they need to do this, and this. It's all fine. It's what I was starting to like worry that something was going to happen. As things happen, you get into the third act. They mess up. They get the cores they need. They need to do all this stuff, and then Zurg captures, of course, Buzz Lightyear, which is a very traditional tropey thing. You know, the bad guy captures the good guy, blah 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 blah. The other good guys have to go after him, blah, 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 blah. It's that type of film. But where this film really disappointed me, to be fairly honest, and there's a lot of people that are going to talk about this as well, is that third act when Buzz is on Zurg's ship, and there's a really funny joke about these robots only know Zurg, so they keep calling him Zurg. So Zurg's character is not really named Zurg. It's just a character for some reason they keep calling him. And we get to the moment where Zurg and Buzz Lightyear confront each other, and Buzz Lightyear tries to get away. And then, of course, Josh Brolin voices Zurg, which is kind of awesome, you know, because his son, of course, did Thanos, which is kind of a cool little thing. And then it's revealed that the Zurg robot is actually a Ironmonger suit. The reason I say Ironmonger, because, of course, Jeff Bridges' character in Iron Man had that suit. And once the suit opens, it's revealed to be Buzz Lightyear 55 years into the future. And that's when my kind of excitement for this movie just went. Because, one, here we go with the multiverses again. Two, did this film just ape Lost in Space, the William Hurt slash Gary Oldman film from 1997? And I don't know if they meant it to do that, but that is pretty bad storytelling, to be fairly honest. It's bad enough you don't let Zurg just be this like amorphous creature or whatever, this amorphous robot. But it's a multiverse film with a 55-year-old Buzz Lightyear who didn't have the opportunities that this Buzz Lightyear had. And he wants the thing to go back to the past so he can be a space ranger again. But Buzz Lightyear, the one that we've been following, doesn't want to do that because he has his friends. His best friend, the one he lost, is going to never meet her wife and stuff like that. And it's really bad storytelling. And on top of that, you have the cadets just doing like the cadet things, and it's interesting, it's fine, but it really doesn't have a really oomph to it. And I just have problems with the fact that there is a Lost in Space thing in this movie with Buzz Lightyear being a bad guy because he turns on himself, and it's a multiverse movie. Why is Disney so wanting multiverses in everything they do? It doesn't make any sense. I'm just waiting for Star Wars to do multiverse. I'm just waiting for Donald Duck and Mickey Mouse to do multiverses. Was this a Disney decision? Was this an upper management decision? Was Angus MacLane so much in love with Lost in Space that he made this decision? I don't know what happened. I'm just bothered by the fact that they would go this route. Like, it would have been really cool if they go to Gamma Sector 4 or whatever, and like that you see in the original movie or in the Toy Story movie, or I think Toy Story 2 as well. If they did that kind of cool Zurg fight, similar to like Galaxy Quest in a lot of ways. But no, it's just another old guy coming back from the future that's himself and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, whatever, this is ridiculous. And then it doesn't really last for very long. It's like a 15-minute segment where they easily defeat Zurg, even though Zurg is this gigantic whatever. And they do the whole, like, Zurg escapes from the exploding ship, but Buzz Lightyear makes a sacrifice to get rid of the core that he's been trying to put into the system to go back to the past. And it basically destroys Zurg, and then they become Space Rangers because the guy that grounded them is like has a change of heart and nonsense. And then at the end, they are Space Rangers. They have the traditional suit, which is cool, which he's had, but it's more in line with what you see in Toy Story. And they have the ship, which is in line with the packaging in Toy Story. And they shoot off to Gamma Sector 4 or Gamma Quadrant 4 or whatever it is. And I just was so, like, deflated after that. You know, the person I was hanging with during this movie really loved this movie. And I'm sitting here going, yeah, it was good. It was fine. But the more and more I thought about it, the more and more I just truly hated this ending. I really did. The more and more I was bothered by it. It's not the most offensive thing I've ever seen. But, I mean, when this is your storytelling elements and you're dealing with a huge movie like Lightyear, and this is what you get, I don't know. I have huge problems with it. I think it's stupid, and I think it truly undermines what could have been a really interesting, fun, in-universe style movie that Andy was, of course, really enthralled by because he loves Buzz Lightyear, and the whole entire world is enthralled by Buzz Lightyear. And it has a lot of in Easter egg meta commentary type things. But the other problem I have before I end this like spoiler discussion, the idea that this was the film that inspired Andy in 1995 is really strange. This doesn't feel like a 1995 movie. It feels like a 2022 movie with a lot of great effects. I'm sorry, but the way it plays out and the way it kind of is shoehorned into the idea of this is what Andy saw, I guess you have to kind of turn your brain off when you think about these things. But if you don't, you're watching this idea of this movie, which doesn't really fit to a 1995 standard when it comes to technology. And if I had saw this movie in 1995, it would have been the greatest movie of all time because it's so well done on a technical level with the CGI, with the vistas and the world that is presented, which is what Pixar and Disney are known for doing at this point. But in the end, I can't see this movie being the basis of what Andy would have loved. And the kids today, the people in the theater love the movie, and that's perfectly all right. But it just bothers me that they think this is the movie that Andy would have saw, and it wouldn't have been. It would have been closer to what we saw in Toy Story 1 with the really rudimentary images and like landscapes and stuff like that. So I understand this is a movie in that universe, and things are, if you're in that universe, things could be a little bit differently seen, but not the way it's being shown. Not especially with the text at the very beginning of the movie where it says in 1995 there was this story of toys and this kind of was the basis of it. I just don't buy that at all. I really don't. So I think that if this had been a standalone thing that had been much better produced and story told and stuff like that, I think it would have been a much better winner. But the fact that you're shoehorning it into Toy Story really bothers me. But that, I guess that's the whole point of Lightyear. So, but with that said, that is my spoiler discussion, ending explains, I guess you could say, of this film. I really hoped for more. I really wanted more. Like I said, the characters are fantastic. Socks is one of the great characters in Pixar to me now. But the characters don't deliver in the story, and the story really suffers from that third act, and it becomes, once again, like I said in my non-spoiler review, a very middle-of-the-road Pixar film, and that's such a shame. So I highly recommend Turning Red, which came out this year, and I recommend this film, but go in knowing that it's not as good as I was hoping, or a lot of people will be hoping for. So with that said, that is my spoiler discussion, ending explains for, of course, Lightyear. Thank you so much for watching. Comments below, did you like that third act ending? Let me know in the comments. If you agree with me, let me know that as well. But like I said, this is going to release the day of this film coming out. But otherwise, thank you so much for watching. If you like what you see, hit that subscribe button to join Movie Emporium. Hit that notification bell at the top to find what's coming next. If you like this video, awesome. Hit that like button. And as always, we'll see you guys on the next video. Peace out.